In this final video, we're going to take the site we've created from our localhost and upload it to our client's URL, and we do that with a simple plugin called Duplicator. If you go to Plugins, Add New, and search for Duplicator, and click Search Plugins, and it's the first one here, and click Install. And I already have this installed, so if we go down to the Duplicator option here on the left, and what this does is it creates two files. So you see this option here, Create Package. The first time that you do this, there won't be a package already created. You'll have the option to create your first package. You just click that icon there to create a package, and what that does is it will create an installer file and a package file like we have here, and then what you need to do is click these files and download them to your system, like that. I've already done that. Once you have downloaded that, then we can upload them to our client's URL. And the way we do that is very simple, is simply FTP them up to our client site. So go to your FTP package, your FTP software. In this case I'm using FileZilla, and go to your public HTML file when you've logged into your hosting account. If you go to public HTML and then find the URL, and then what you do is you find the two files on your hard drive. So in this case it's the installer file, which would be installer.php, and also the package as well, which will be a zip file. So if you go here, you'll see the package name here. You just find that as well as the installer file and copy them over to your hosting, and then once that's uploaded, we can then proceed to setting this up on the hosting account. And the way we do that is, if I just go into my hosting account here, I actually host the client sites, or host the sites for my clients. You may want to do the same, or they may have their own hosting. In this section here, what we want to do is we want to create a user and a database, much in the same way as we did with XAMPP. And if we go down to MySQL databases here, click on that. What you want to do is you want to create a new database. So if you go to create new database and give the database a name, and I'll call it that, and click create database. Then you want to create a user, and give it a password. And confirm the password. And then click create user. And then what you want to do, once that is done, you need to give the user administrator access to that database. So you need to add the user to that database, and the way that you do that is you come down to add user to database, select the user that you've just created, and select the database you've just created and click add, and then select all privileges and make changes. Okay, so now we've added that database, that user to that database. And the next thing we want to do is we want to go to the URL where we've uploaded the package, and we want to go through the install process, so we'll do that just now. Okay, so now we're here at our FTP program. So what we're going to do is copy the package and the installer file across. So So there's the package file. I'll just copy that across to our URL, and I'll just find the installer file. It's installer.php. And I'll just pause the video while that's uploading. Okay, so that's the two files uploaded to the domain name. So if I just copy the URL, and what we'll do is we'll go along to that now. And you can see here we have our installer file and our package file. So if we click on the installer file, it brings up the WordPress duplicator, and the next thing we want to do is we want to put in our database name here, our username here, and the password here. So this was the database we created. This was the user we created. And then once we add our password, we click test connection, make sure all works, and if everything's fine, click I have read all the warnings and notices, and then click install. So I'm going to do that just now. Now when you click install, you'll get this message here saying, do you want to proceed? And you obviously click OK. And we should be met with this screen here, which says that everything has installed properly. And if we want to resave our permalinks and make sure everything's okay, we just click on this link here, and we can see here that that's taken us to our login panel. And if we just log in here, everything is as it should be. So we've taken our WordPress site from our localhost and installed it onto our domain name on our hosting or on our client's hosting. The last thing to do is just to delete the installer files, and this will do it for you. If you click delete for me, click OK, and then in your their client's WordPress site that's now live on their URL, just make sure all the settings and everything is where it should be, and everything's saved properly, and that is essentially it. So we've taken our site from our local hosting and added it to our client's URL. So that's it from me. I hope you found it useful and informative, and thank you very much.